Well, for some time now, it's been almost all over the place on the front pages or the dailies, time and again, and you just kind of have already asked, what is the fuss about all of this? I mean, why do politicians focus on 3 years ahead, talking about 2015? In fact, some say it as what, 2-3 days, just tomorrow. Why do all these happen and then they don't focus on development as they should? Do they? Do data? Why not? Well, some of the questions we will be focusing on this morning, and we'll be going to Abuja, where Doyin Okupe joins us now. From there, he's the SSA Public Affairs to the President. Thank you and morning for joining us this morning. And I mean, some may just say it's true the type. You know, they say the leopard can't change the stripes. It's a sport now. And is this any strange to you, by the way, that politicians, can we categorize? Yes, you are one, aren't you? Talking about 2015, where they should be focused on development, the task at hand. How do all of this even happen in the first place?
Thank you, Chamberlain. I don't think it's something rather unusual, but something rather peculiar to Nigeria. Nigerians do not seem to know when elections are over and when campaigns should begin. And because most of us who are politicians are mainly political jobbers, when the newly elected people or personnel or officers take office, you know, we do not allow them to perform, you know, on their offices. You know, immediately people go back and start to prepare how to run for the next election. And this is quite a very sad thing. It causes a lot of distraction for those who are in power. And this is why President Goodluck Jonathan, very, very early in his term, suggested that the issue, that the presidency or even the governorship should be a single term, you know, affair, so that those who are elected can at least, you know, have some time and concentrate and not worry about whether they're coming back or they're not coming back. This is a bane of our political process. It's quite unfortunate.
Do you think it would not have continued if the ruling party at the national level did not in any way, directly or indirectly, encourage it?
No, I don't think it is right to say the PDP as a national party has encouraged it. That will not be correct, because what you observe is that most of those who lost election are those who immediately after losing election, you know, begin immediately to prepare for the next election. I remember very well that, as far back as two or 3 months ago, former General Buhari, the CPC presidential candidate, already declared his intention to run in 2015. You know, that is just 1 year, after he just lost the election. And besides that, you will see members of the opposition crisscrossing, going all over the place, you know, trying to either form a union or get together, all in preparation for an election that is still 3 years ahead. It is a Nigerian phenomenon, as I told you, but it is because, as I said before, most of our politicians, most of us politicians, are quite jobless, and we really don't have much to do. And, you know, all we do is to live in, day out on politics.
You know, they say those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. I mean, now you talk about another party. What about your party? How many days ago was it where the president was in Anambra State, and there we did have people from the same party already talking about how it should play out, who should have it thereafter. That happened there. Won't you talk about that one?
Very good, Chamberlain. That is a very different perspective entirely. Mr. President visited Anambra State. In the first instance, Anambra State is not a PDP state. It is governed by Governor Peter Obi, who is of Abga, who belongs to Abga. Now, it is true that people, people said they endorsed. It was, in fact, almost a non-partisan endorsement. And you see, there's nothing wrong in heroes, existing in society. To many people, many people criticize President Jonathan, yes, but to other people, he's a hero. And if a man is your hero, you do wish him well. It is not President Jonathan who requested for endorsement. I know that for the fact this particular president has not any intention whatsoever presently now to consider the issue of 2015. The gentleman is dedicated, is passionately concerned and motivated to deliver on these promises, which he made to the Nigerian people. It is not on his agenda. It is not his program. It is not under any of his considerations. But if people genuinely, out of love and out of appreciation or affection for what he's doing, express their wish, well, that is something that we cannot really condemn. It is different if he goes about and says, oh, come and endorse me, or if you go about and say, I'm a candidate for the next election, or if you actually start to prepare for the election. So, Chamberlain, there are two different kettles of fishes.
Okay, now let's see if we can open one of the kettle and see what we have there, if it's a fish or an egg, because what we're getting at this point in time is that, first you told us about the work of political jobbers. Now, maybe perhaps we should stay on that, knowing full well that we should, bother ourselves with the issues instead of talking about campaign or the offices for 2015. We say this because if you draw some kind of inference from what we see now, just recently the Democratic National Convention in the U.S. Took place, and we saw that everything was issues-based. Why is it that the political jobbers around your party can't even talk about issues in preparation towards 2015?
Nigerians, Suleiman, you are being unfair. Nigerians are Nigerians, everywhere. The same Nigerians that are in PDP are the same Nigerians that are in ACN and in CPC. Well, with very little moderations. And I've just told you that it is not in our nature. If you consider what the opposition in Nigeria concentrates on, the opposition in Nigeria concentrates on things that are not realistic, on things that are not issue-based, on personalities, on insults, etc., etc. But I accept and I agree with you that our politics should begin to migrate from this level of decadence and move towards the civilized era of actually engaging on issues. By the time a presidential candidate in the United States is elected, he has actually made he had made a lot of points about what he intends to do. And these are the things that people do take him on. That's what they're taking Obama on. You promised to do this, you promised to handle the economy, how far have you gone? I believe that by God's grace, and if we keep on at it, we will get there, but we're still very far from it.